3 U.S. service members have been killed in action as part of Operation Epic Fury. American heroes, God bless them and their families. Marjorie Taylor Greene's response to Laura Loomer, if anybody has seen this bitch is celebrating the death of American military members and thanking their families for their blood sacrifice. Sign up for the military, Laura. Go to the front lines, Laura. Maybe then they'll give you a gun. You don't love Trump enough unless you go fight Iran yourself. So again, here I am agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I love MAGA on MAGA violence.
You're not agreeing with Marjorie. Marjorie is finally coming around to where you are.
Okay, thank you. Yes, she's horseshoed over to this side. I'm not going to get on board with Jewish space lasers. That's just not going to happen. But I think bitch.
To be really clear about it, and I'm the same. Like when we were sharing that message around the other day, it was like, fuck, don't make me fucking agree with this bitch again. But I think when you peel it all back, they're not America first. They're fucking isolationists, right? And it just feeds into all of the anti-Semitism. So at the end of the day, the reason that we think this is fucked up is completely different to the reason that she thinks it's all fucked up.
This is true. But Trump did promise no new wars, and Marjorie Taylor Greene was like super big on that. And like the one thing I love is that she is not making policy anymore. She has removed herself from the chat, but she's still going after Laura Loomer and any of these other fucking people.
I just gotta say, like, I love to see it when two of the people we can't stand the most go after each other.
It's favorite.
It gives me joy. I know on the pod we ask how we're getting our joy these days. It's when awful people start Twitter wars against each other. That's my personal joy.
We need all of the popcorn we can get.
I do want to like just update. When Laura Loomer posted this, there were only 3 service members killed. And as of the recording, I think that number is up to 8 that we know of at this time. Yeah. So,
and I believe the bulk of them were reservists. So these are people who are kind of the weekend warriors who volunteer their time in the reserves.
Families and kids.
Yeah. They do this on the weekends, or they go, I'm not exactly sure what the schedule is, but they're not the officers who are standing tall in the military year round. I have cousins who are enlisted reservists, so it's kind of a fucked up thing, right? Like that we've lost lives already in this bullshit that Trump started last weekend.
Yep, and it sounds like the plan is to kill stuff and hope shit just works out. That's the summary I've got out of it so far.
It's no longer like we're not kind of politicking through policy anymore or diplomacy. They changed the name of the department to the Department of War for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And unfortunately, I think we're just going to see a lot more of this over the next 3 years of what's left in this administration.
Yeah, there's just going to be a lot of like smoke and mirrors. Follow this, follow the war over here. We know that's a fascist playbook, is let's start skirmishes and wars in other places. And I mean, it's hard because we're trying to find the joy and we're trying to find the humor in some of this, but it's really hard to do that. Except when Marjorie Taylor Greene goes after Laura Loomer on X. And that actually gave me a big chuckle, like, this bitch. Like, do it, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I need it from you so hard. Well, everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Point of Disorder. I'm Adrienne.
I'm Gina.
And I'm Julie. Welcome back, Gina.
We're glad to have Gina here.
Great to be back, guys. Sorry. For those of you who don't know, I have an autoimmune disease. So I get sick constantly, and I had pneumonia twice last year. So I thank these ladies for always just keeping the train running while I'm like sick in bed. So love you guys.
Well, we love you too. We're glad that you're here with us today. As usual, if you like us, please give us a follow, a share, subscribe anywhere that you get your podcasts right now. You can also follow us on all the social platforms at The Point of Disorder, or Distill Social, or The Guerrilla Politic. And now we've got some exciting news. You guys want to talk about the Patreon?
We do. We want to talk about the fact that media is shit. The normal media is shit. We all know that. It's getting worse and worse with what's happening in terms of, all of the buyouts. It just seems like we can't trust legacy media at all. And Gina and I started Distill Social about 5 years ago. And for this very reason, we saw at that time that there was a real issue with regards to the
Certain stories aren't being told.
Correct.
There's a lot of people are holding back for the rich and powerful. And hey, in this moment right now, I was out of the country 2 weeks ago, getting entirely different news on America and on geopolitics than what you would see in America if you just turn on your news or even opened an app and your algorithm is, you're in the US, you're getting fed certain stuff. So it is absolutely insane what is being suppressed by the media right now. We know it's all a conglomerate owned by the top Trump supporters. So we're going to keep it real for you guys. What we're doing with our Patreon is giving you the extra tea. Like, for instance, did you all know we still have members of our state house taking trips to Israel in 2026? Going to talk about that on the Patreon. We'll name names too.
We're taking numbers, naming names. So basically what we're doing is we've been giving away everything for free for the last 5 years, which we forgot to mention. Like, we've been giving away the milk.
Podcasting don't pay.
Podcasting doesn't pay, as we've always been talking about. So with our Patreon, you can basically support the work that we're doing by paying a small fee per month. They start at $5, but if you go up to the $10 per month and above Patreon support, which will help us keep the trains running on time and bring us into your ears every week and continue to do that, you will actually get access to a very special podcast called G&T Time, where we will be literally spilling tea, as Gina just mentioned. Those that listened and watched last week, we were at the State of the Union. We did that so you didn't have to.
Got a lot of tea there to talk about still too.
Shit ton of tea. So we will be sharing that on our G&T Time. It'll be a separate podcast that will basically drop every other week. And it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be Gina and I just gossiping, basically.
Just shooting the shit like we do in our group text. So you guys are going to be added to the group chat if you join our Patreon. And let me tell you, we actually struggled over making a paywall because I'm in the camp where like news should just be free. But I have to tell you all, it is tough for nonprofits out there right now. We're not getting the usual funding coming in because of a lot of policies from the Trump administration and just things going on behind the scenes. So you guys who sign up for our Patreon and make contributions on our Substack, like that's really what's literally keeping these lights on and those cameras rolling. So we unfortunately need to do it, but we think you guys will understand, and we really hope you come along with us.
Yeah. So everybody, if you want to visit patreon.com, you can do a search for Distill Social and you can sign up. So please do that. Help support the pod, help support Distill Social, and getting you all the news in your ears and your eyeballs that you need.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. Nobody else is calling Trump a pedophile on live TV like I recently did.
Congrats.
We literally just got back from DC. Gina was going on Rup Raj's TV program, calls me at 9:30 at night. I'm like, bitch, I'm asleep already and I've already taken a gummy. She's like,
I need you to wake up.
I called Julie and I said, I just called the president a pedophile on live TV. We might have a little blowback, just making you aware.
And I'm like, I've just taken a gummy. I don't care. Yes. Anyway, bottom line is, if we don't get enough money to keep the lights on here in our studio and the work that we do, we will sell out to Barry Wise. Just saying.
It's because we're independent media that we can do things like call Trump a pedophile on national TV. Nobody else has that type of free range. So please feed these chickens over here, guys.
And if this is really important to you all to get our podcast and Distill Social in your eyeballs and in your ears, then you can find a link to our Patreon in the description. All right. Well, obviously at the top of the hour here, we were talking about Iran and some of the feelings that folks have had about it, at least on the right, in the MAGA. I'm affectionately calling it Operation Epstein Files because, of course, starting wars, large-scale wars in different regions detracts from the Epstein files not being released completely.
Can we just point out that it's so funny that it's exactly the same initials? Operation Epic Fury, Operation Epstein Files.
Holy
Sorry,
shit.
I
Yes.
hadn't thought about that.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I
wanna
love
point
an
that out.
acronym, and it totally works here. So someone had dropped into our notes, every war is
Wait, is that like a new Q drop that just happened?
I don't know.
shit.
Was it a J drop?
J drop. That's right. Follow us.
Follow us. Yes. Jay and on.
There's something to that, Julie. That's
know.
all I'm saying.
I know. I can't believe no one else saw it.
Oh, man. Okay. I think what's been kind of sad for me was just hearing Trump make comments about soldiers dying being the ultimate patriots, and that there's just going to be some sacrifice, and you're just, going to have to get over it, basically. No single American casualty should be acceptable, and it's all preventable.
100%. With this, the Pentagon did tell the president Iran is not a threat to the U.S. or Israel right now, and they went ahead and authorized this war.
They bombed them last year. We bombed them last year and came out saying, "Yep, everything's cool."
We got it. No, they
Yeah.
they can't do nukes anymore.
Well, I mean, so that's what's crazy about this is they're like, they can't do nukes. We've completely destroyed their nuke infrastructure. It even says on like whitehouse.gov that they did this and that anything else is fake news. But then one of the reasons that they're trying to give for preemptively striking Iran this past week is because there was going to be a nuclear bomb going off. It's like, well, what is it then? Like, which side of your mouth are you talking about? Which lie?
The side with the asshole in it.
Right. Pretty much, right? So if we've destroyed their nuclear infrastructure, why are we now saying that they had a nuke that they were going to use on us?
Well, we're full of shit as a government in general. But what's pissing me off is like I keep hearing it's regime change and good for the people. Okay, the current ruler wasn't that great for the current for the citizens.
Yeah.
But like this isn't regime change. And I'm gonna get into the weeds a little bit and go in the Wayback Machine and take you guys to my geopolitics classes in college. Okay. This is a classic balkanization of the region. It is not regime change. And what that means is that like we're breaking this one country. So Iran, we're trying to break it into smaller pieces that are all divided. Okay. These pieces don't get along with each other. So we split it up and then these smaller factions start fighting each other. This is very good for us, right? Why do governments do this? It divides the other country. It makes it weaker. It fractions the rivals. It makes people easier to manipulate and exploit and defeat, quite honestly. So it's literally like political science people, like it's like divide and rule. It makes it easier to take over.
Okay.
It is not regime change.
I get that, but what I find is really interesting, and I'll be interested in your thoughts on this, is Iran is actually hitting other Middle Eastern countries at the moment, and really important parts, right? So in the things that the US, quite honestly, in terms of our economy, are relying on. If you think about it, so much of the AI, the investment in AI, is coming from the Middle East, from the UAE, from Qatar, all of these sorts of places. So. And Saudi. So it feels to me like a losing battle.
Yeah.
Because Iran is not, yes, it's not hitting us.
I just want to remind everyone that this is the Secretary of War.
This
Pete
drunken
Hegseth.
asshole is in
This
charge.
drunken asshole is in charge of the balkanization of Iran.
Yeah.
I mean, not only just like AI, but to speak to the, the oil interests, right?
Yeah.
Everything fucking still runs on fossil fuels. And we know Iran controls the Gulf of Hormuz. Is that what it's called? Did I say that correct? They've got that all blockaded right now.
Well, let me just ask you something. We just did a little fun regime change in Venezuela. So that oil is free flowing to us.
That's interesting.
Now, we can't get oil out of the Gulf right now because the strait is closed. I just wonder if that's connected.
I don't know. That seems like it would be. This is another J drop right here. Right. One of the things that this is my own personal feeling is like, okay, it's going to be painful when gas really starts to go up. I think it went up 70 cents overnight or something like that. But part of me is like, fucking good. go up. That's going to be so bad for the Trump
We
administration.
need to start slapping those stickers
Yeah.
that says I did that and
Yeah.
photos of Trump on there.
Yeah, 100%. It's always about oil. It's always about resources. It's always about fighting Israel's war for them.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question because it all feels very confusing to me. This is my first experience living in a country that, during the start of a war. So I'm
Wait,
just
Australia's never illegally tried to overthrow other nations?
number one, we're too lazy.
Okay.
Number two, we're too small.
Yeah.
So it's like, not going to happen. But anyway,
Well, we've kind of done this before, Julie.
yeah, I'm
Iraq,
familiar.
Yugoslavia. You know, it's a lot easier to control a divided country than it is a unified one. So that's what we're doing here.
So I know that you guys will know this history better than I, but my understanding is that isn't it the US that basically overturned a democratically elected Iranian prime minister 73 years ago?
Yes, we did do that.
And so basically there was a
Guilty
coup.
as charged.
And there was a coup that led to abuses by the Shah, who the US had installed, and there was a rise up and
Yeah.
ended up,
Oh,
we ended up
and
here.
let me tell you
I'm a
guys,
bit confused about the whole thing.
If you watched Argo, none of that fucking shit happened. That is not the true story. Get yourself on Wikipedia instead.
It's free. It's free. Yeah, I mean, there's always like this regime change that the United States is always inserting ourselves into, when it suits whoever's best interests at the top. I've also been, watching the socials for the things that he had said about Obama, that Trump had said about Obama, that Obama was going to go to war with Iran, and he kept saying it over and over again, and that shit has aged like milk, essentially. We've got folks here and in Michigan, in our Michigan delegation, who are essentially, of course, like split on it. So the Republicans are like, yay, war. They love that shit. And then the Democrats are saying something else. I think Alyssa Slotkin had a statement, no love lost for Iran, but he has yet to justify going to war. I mean, we have to all remember, like, he's completely, what is it, Article 5?
Yeah.
He's
so
completely ignoring.
We're actually going to be voting on war power resolutions. It's probably happening as we're filming in the Senate. And then tomorrow when this drops, it'll be happening in the House of Representatives. So we'll see. Like a yes on the war powers resolution would mean your member is effectively voting to stop what's going on and give Congress the authority to have this war continue. And then a no vote, if you see your member voting no, that means they believe the president can basically do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. Then what's the point of them even having a job?
So, we were asking ourselves that last week in Congress while we were, running around the halls. Everybody knew this was coming, right? It was like the unspoken weird thing lingering around.
We half expected it to happen while we were there because we were there for the State of the Union. So there was chatter about, okay, is this going to happen on the Tuesday so that the State of the Union doesn't even happen? And I'd be pissed because we'd spent money to get there. But anyway.
Democrats should have forced this vote a week ago and they didn't, and now we're playing catch up. So effectively we're already in war. How do you put that genie
Shocking.
back in the bottle?
The toothpaste back in the tube, pick whatever metaphor that you want. I know you guys interviewed Rashida, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib the other day. What's her take on all of this?
Complete moral clarity is her take.
Yeah. As it should be.
I'm just going to make that really concise.
And I just want to repeat what we said on that particular podcast, but go back and listen to it because it was a really interesting conversation with the Congresswoman. But was that we were speaking to the leaders basically in DC, and they were basically saying no need to focus on questions about Iran. This is like fucking 3 days before they dropped bombs. Like, it's crazy to me.
Hakeem Jeffries was sitting next to me at a luncheon, and he got up and
That
gave
was a flex, Gina.
And 5 minutes later, he got up and gave remarks, and we were in a room of all independent journalists, very small, about 30 of us or so. And he was asking us to specifically create content around the SAVE Act, which right now is DOA in the Senate. They don't have the votes to pass it.
Good.
So why we need, look, we don't want the SAVE Act. It's terrible. It's going to be voter suppression. Women
Poll
won't be able to
taxes.
vote.
Yeah.
Native Americans won't be able to vote. And nobody wants the SAVE Act, okay? I want to be very firm on that.
I will just add to that, and then we'll get back on track. I swear, my bank teller the other day, she was all anti-SAVE Act. It was a whole fucking thing. It's a totally different story, but keep going. I digress.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think that people are aware of the SAVE Act. And in this very moment, I think impending war that could possibly spread globally is something we really wanted to speak to our elected officials about. And we were kind of...
we weren't encouraged,
Yes,
put it that way.
yeah.
We were discouraged to do that. But what I do want to say is part of having a war surely is about, there is a possibility if this war goes on too long and we're in a certain situation, there won't be a fucking election anyway.
Right.
Is that right? Ding,
Right.
Yeah.
ding, ding.
Yeah.
Epstein files, election.
Allow me to go back to Hakeem for a second.
Please do. I know you took kindly to him.
I was nice. I wasn't going to tell him off
You
at
were polite.
lunch with other members.
Like I said, he clearly does not listen to this podcast or follow you on social
worried
media.
about him hearing this. So let me just tell you guys, he has no fucking strategy, okay? None. I think if anyone was on Twitter over the weekend, everybody saw his reaction to us waking up on Saturday and being in another war was to have a caucus Zoom call on Sunday. They weren't even like, guys, let's hop on a Zoom right now. They were like, we'll make it on Sunday.
It's the weekend. I got shit to do. I got to pick up my dry cleaning. I need to get my groceries.
Having
We'll
the
do this
nails
tomorrow.
done.
Right. Exactly.
So let me tell you, we were more urgent to still social because I wake up. Historically, I get up very, very early, and Gina likes to sleep a little
Sleep
later
in
on
on
the
a
weekend.
Saturday.
Yeah.
You guys are on different times. That's okay.
We are. She does the evening shift. I do the morning shift. So I wake up, I see what the fuck's going on, and
I
I'm
had
like,
taken a gummy Friday night, so I was sleeping late on Saturday.
I'm like, team, we've got to get onto this straight. This is 7:30 in the morning. Like, no one else is posting on this. Like in Michigan, let's get onto it. So we got onto it. These bitches are fucking
Took their fucking sweet time, and then
did
they
a
get
Zoom
on.
on Sunday.
They get on this Zoom call, and everyone's like, "Okay, Hakeem, what's our plan?" And he's like, "I have no strategy. You guys just vote how you want."
Oh my God. Well, the thing about the Zoom call thing too is if you're doing it on a Sunday morning, that's when all the Sunday morning shows are happening too.
It wasn't in the morning. It was midday.
Yeah, you need to get out and control that fucking narrative. So, when you woke up early, I'm also an early riser. So my partner, he was awake and he's suddenly like, hey, I guess we're at war with Iran now. And I was like, or that was Saturday morning. I was like, oh, cool. I was getting ready to go to a wedding and it was supposed to be this really nice weekend. And I'm like, great. And then you start reading about sleeper cells and Russia's involvement. And you're like, oh, wow, this is going to be really problematic. So fun
Guys,
times.
It was 8 p.m. on Sunday.
I thought it was Sunday night. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how fucking, I mean,
Okay.
talk about, what were they doing? Out to fucking brunch? I've got no idea. A lot of
It's the
people do brunch in
weekend.
DC.
We've got shit to do.
With regards to Russia, can I just mention just quickly, doesn't Iran supply drones to Russia and has done through the Ukraine war, the war with Ukraine?
I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and say I'm the top eminent geopolitical person. We leave that to Head in the Office boys. That's
do that.
them,
Exactly.
right?
But I just want to jokingly on the side, I'm pretty sure they do, and jokingly say, hey, maybe, just maybe, this might be a covert way of ending the war in Ukraine.
That would be great.
Then Trump can also add that to his
his
list.
list.
He's
Wait, FIFA can give him another award for
turns
ending
out.
the Ukraine war. That would be awesome.
Someone could make him a little cardboard one with some ribbon. Here's your Nobel Peace Prize for starting a war to end a war. If he wants to come up with more explanations, right? There's one right there.
Yeah.
We just softballed that over to you.
Exactly.
That's no
But
problem.
in good news, Melania did proceed over the UN Security
What the
Council.
fuck was
That
that?
was wild. I was getting so many, someone sending me videos of that shit. One of my friends in one of my other threads, they're like, what the actual fuck is going on here? And then she's thanking Great Britain for presiding over for the last month. It's what is happening right now?
I really don't care, do you?
She really does have that monotone voice.
We need to find that jacket. My whole thing with that was Trump has spent his entire presidency disparaging the United Nations, and then went and set up his own like parallel agency, the Board of Peace, to further undercut the United Nations. And then you send your wife there, to the people you don't respect. Like, I don't understand.
Well, you don't respect your wife much either, right?
No, I mean, he did fuck a hooker while she was.
Allegedly.
Oh no, he did it. I mean,
The porn star? Wait,
Yeah,
Stormy
Stormy.
Daniels? Okay.
was that like 1 month after 7
She
foot
had-
tall Baron? She 1 month after
she
she had the
gave
7
birth.
foot tall baby.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, lucky he is 7 foot because apparently he can't be drafted
That's
because
right.
he's too tall.
Well, he's too tall and he's too rich. And we know we have to
okay.
start these wars because none of us are going to have jobs because AI is taking all our fucking jobs. So we're going to just have to go to war.
So like Baron is out, and we've seen all the photos of BB's wife and son hanging out in southern Florida. Like, I mean,
Are they in Boca?
They're in Miami.
Oh, they're in Miami. Okay.
And the most unflattering photo of BB's wife on her balcony, like first thing in the morning, just like looking like she just got up, like
oh, Jesus.
is like circulating online. It's really
You've got to
funny.
feel for her. She has to fuck him while
gross.
he's fucking the rest of us. I'm just saying.
So you all sent something over in our thread the other day too from Natasha Korecki on X, Twitter. Last week, FBI Director Kash Patel fired a dozen FBI agents and staff as retribution for a Trump probe. The group Patel targeted an elite counter-espionage unit that specializes in Iran. And that was reported by Carol Lenig from the New York Sun.
You can't make this shit up.
No.
The Onion's got nothing left.
No,
The
you're
Onion's
right.
got nothing left. I know. It's all been peeled
This administration keeps putting people out of jobs.
I
That's
mean,
all
they're
I'm
all,
gonna
they're
say.
all drunk.
Right.
That's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Kash Patel, like 2 weeks ago, was fucking.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
in the
locker
slamming
room.
down beers with hockey players.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Anyway.
what? Like on our taxpayer dime. Like, what are you doing there? That you're just waiting outside the locker room? Go do your fucking job.
This administration is unserious.
Mm-hmm.
They're not serious. None of them are serious. And you know what? That wouldn't matter as much if they weren't so fucking destructive and going, look, this is serious. Like, to get rid of the actual people within the FBI that's like specialized and all the shit that happened with Doge last year.
Right.
And then you send us into fucking endless wars. What are we doing?
I mean, I think the thing that keeps me awake at night is like when someone was talking about sleeper cells. Like, you know, 9/11 happened because there was a sleeper cell here. And you got to believe people get radicalized and they're able to come over.
The thing about that, so having lived through that, we knew that was going to happen. We had the intelligence on that and we ignored it. And that's frightens me because we had a semi normal system happening with agents who actually were vetted and trained. Now our FBI is just full of sycophants. The director is just some whack job. Like nobody is really skilled anymore that's left there. They fired a lot of the people with the institutional knowledge. So yeah, I worry that a sleeper cell would be even more of a possibility now than it was back then.
Agreed. I mean, well, I was just trying to figure out, okay, who's the head of the CIA, right? The CIA, they're the ones who usually can keep an eye on this shit. And then, of course, Kash Patel just fired everybody who does counter work in the FBI. I don't know. John Ratcliffe was a former congressman. He's the head of the CIA now. That doesn't give me any kind of comfort,
You know,
right?
they're just not reading this shit anyway. The intelligence has come. I mean, you hear stories about, you know, intelligence briefings are like, you know, as tall as we are each day. And you just know they're not reading all that shit. You just know that.
So John Ratcliffe, the CIA director who was just appointed last year, has faced like several controversies. Like,
of course he has. He's from Texas.
He even got like his first big thing was like he lied on his resume. Basically, he exaggerated, we'll say, a lot of the things he's been politicizing intelligence. We know he has had like a lot of improper handling of classified information. Like some of his scandals are including like prosecution he declassified some Russia stuff. Like, it's bad. It's bad. It's a clown show.
You're not making me feel any better. I'm never leaving my house again. That's what's gonna happen.
Signalgate happened right after that man was put in charge.
Well, I just read something while I was looking for Pete Hegseth's photo, just to remind you all what the head of the Department of War looks like. The autocratic strategy of engineered incompetence. Because we're always talking about what a bunch of dumb fucks these people are. But it's like there is no plan, right? We're going to do what we're going to do. We're not going to think 2 steps ahead of what's going to happen. But there's also like this engineering of looking incompetent too, so that we all think they're dumber than they are. It's
So
like,
you think it's on purpose?
I think a little bit. I think it's a little bit on purpose. It's like if you don't take these people seriously enough, then
They can get away with
they
any
can get away
bullshit.
with anything because you think they're just stupid. But it's like, no, this is all part of a master plan. Anyway, I feel great now. This is awesome. Thanks so much, you guys. Like, I just feel
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. I need a nap.
Good times.
Well, we also know that not only is this Operation Epstein Files, but we also know it's probably Operation Trump's approval rating is tanking.
Yep.
Okay. And we know wars have been started over less in the past, including approval ratings, because, people are like, yay, war, patriotism. I feel so great about being an American. There is an Economist live poll that happens like every single day. They like track his polling. It's kind of amazing. It's like it's this beautiful downward trend.
It's a black run.
Yeah, exactly, of where he's at. So as of like today, he's down 19 points.
So he's just a little bit above a 20% approval rating.
Yeah, he's
Not great.
Not doing great. Most people disapprove of what he's up to, and I think that kind of shit gets under his skin.
His approval rating is much lower than President Biden's was at this point in 2021. Interesting. Thank you for showing us that.
Oh, here's another little scatter dot from New York Times as well. I like that.
The thing here that gets me is that while Trump's approval rating keeps falling at new lows each month, the Democratic Party approval rating is not going up. It's kind of staying
The same. It's like it's
Steady.
It's steady. It's holding steady at lower than
steady
Trump's
in
approval rating.
It's steady in Shitsville.
It's shit light. So we've got shit party and shit light party.
Why do you think so? Like,
I have strong feelings, Gina.
I had a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it.
Very strong feelings. Well, I think, yes, Trump's doing badly, but it's quite obvious to me that the Democrats, for a majority of the Democrats, their theory of winning is basically if we just sit back and do fucking nothing, we'll just
People will like us.
We'll just run across the line
Because
and
we're
we
not
won't have to do
him.
too much because we're not him. However, that is a very short-term plan. That does not work. And the thing that I would say to you as to why their approval rating isn't increasing is because they're not standing solidly as a block. You do not see them standing together and saying, abolish fucking ICE. Now, they can leave the fucking part out of it, but abolish ICE, demanding for a full and independent investigation into the Epstein files, demanding a living wage for all, and demanding healthcare for all. If they stood together firmly on those things, then people would be like, okay, we've got shit over here starting wars, bagging people, taking them away from their families. And over here we've got people actually offering an alternative that will make my life better.
Yeah, there are things out there that 80% of Americans can agree on.
Absolutely.
And you just basically listed half of them.
And this is the perfect opportunity for them to stand up together. And I know there are individuals, they'll come out and say, oh, but, there are certain individuals that do stand for that and come out boldly, but they need to come out as a block boldly to talk about these things because like it or not, Republicans are evil, but they take their power and they fucking well use it.
Yes, they do.
They grab it and they just go, okay. So the situation I feel we find ourselves in now is that Democrats are likely to win the midterms. We all feel if the midterms happen, but honestly, I'll be shocked if they do more than politely ask for anything more than just a mild
And it's a
change.
default win. It's a default win
is.
because we're just saying we're just not Trump. Like, that's not enough. People are struggling. People need to hear from their leaders that you're going to do the things you say you're going to do, and they want to know what you're going to fucking do for them. And the Texas primary, like, and I'm not going to get into the Democratic side of things, but I was listening to the Republicans and their whole thing is like, who's more MAGA? That's all they're fighting over.
Yep.
They're not talking about policy. They're not talking about how they're actually like being more MAGA is going to help anybody. I don't want to hear you say, well, I'm not Trump and I'm against Trump. Well, first of all, I'm not seeing you fight back against Trump in any fucking tangible way. Second of all, you're not actually standing on business for what needs to actually get done. So of course I see that their approval ratings are fucking tanking. Their approval ratings are worse than Trump.
The thing that pisses me off is that they know what is popular because we're polling policies. We're polling different members of Congress. We're polling moderates versus progressives. Every single time the progressive policy polls higher, every single time the progressive member polls higher, we know what the people are asking for, and the party has thus far been refusing to give it to them.
Yeah.
And the problem that I see in the future, I'm going to just get my crystal ball out here. We win the midterms, or Democrats win the midterms, and then they do very little apart from, send harshly worded letters and whatever the fuck else they do. And then we come to the election in 2028, the presidential election, and people are going, well, what the fuck have you done?
Right.
We end up in the same space as what we were in fucking 2024. I'm sorry.
Let's learn this lesson.
It's my PSA,
Yeah.
public service announcement for the day.
Thank you for making that.
You're welcome.
But it's frustrating for all of us because we are Democrats. We do vote, in elections for Democrats, and we need to see you just doing better.
I want to just take a little side tangent here, and I'll keep it short, but I strongly feel like this is the year, you guys, everybody needs to come out and vote in primary elections.
Yeah.
Because we have centrists versus progressives in a lot of races. We are seeing the bellwether. We are seeing decades old Republican strongholds flipping blue right now. This is the environment progressives can win in, and they will win in the general. So I don't want to hear any of that bullshit. Like, we need the middle of the road person for the general.
No more milk toast.
No, you fucking don't. I want to remind everybody, Bernie Sanders won Michigan in 2016. We are progressive here. We're populist here. Let's fucking get those candidates into the general election. So fucking go vote in the primary, you fuckers. Sorry.
And you're welcome.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Like, if you listen to us, if you follow us, go fucking vote in the primary election. I mean, these primaries get like 30% turnout tops?
Oh, not
Yeah.
even.
Like 20, it's
Not
generally
even.
around 20%.
Yeah.
20% of us are like deciding who puts forth our like general election candidates. And let me tell you, that 20%, most of them are over 60 years old. So for the fucking grace of God, guys, get out there. Like, please, if you're under, 40 years old, go vote in the primary election.
Because quite honestly, you can't really complain if you don't vote in the primary. You can't complain that you have milk toast options if you don't vote in the primary.
Yeah, for
All right.
sure.
Sorry, guys.
I will just add on to that the primary election is the first Tuesday in August here in Michigan. Other states, check your local listings because I don't know, we're in Michigan. So that's when your primary is. And I will also say that elections happen every single year. It's not just every 4 years when the president's on the ballot. It's every single year. And there are primaries every single year. So go do your fucking duty and vote. There you go.
We're going to circle back to that in a few months, guys.
Yes, we're gonna really just be
Seems early, ladies.
hounding on
It's
everybody.
a little early, but the three of us will get on our soapbox again
Yes.
at early summer and remind
Yes,
you all.
I will remind you there's also absentee voting and early voting and other ways. Like, you don't actually have to show up. You just have to be registered to vote by absentee, or you can early vote. It is okay. Okay. So y'all, this was interesting.
We need a giggle, Adrienne.
We need a giggle. And you know what? A surveillance state gives me a little giggle, right? As much as it possibly can, living in these times. But the headline of this read, Clarkston man facing felony charges. A 24-year-old Clarkston man is facing felony charges after Waterford police say he damaged roughly $10,000 worth of police license plate reader cameras. So those are those cameras that scan your license plate.
Yeah.
Detectives say one of the damaged ALPR cameras captured an image of the suspect's vehicle and license plate at the time that the camera was destroyed. So I mean, good on you, brother. But next time, maybe cover up your license plate.
You wear one of those masks like the Ice Agents do and cover your license plate. Let me tell you, every time I'm visiting Julie in Royal Oak, I like literally get out of my car and I picture myself with an aluminum baseball bat just fucking knocking all those goddamn parking meter cameras down.
They're everywhere.
Oh
They're everywhere. There's facial recognition technology. There is, they're talking about surveilling all of our social medias. And they have license plate readers. In some communities, like where I live, there are no license plate readers in Canton, because there gets into some weird fucking civil rights shit and constitutional rights shit with this. So there was some interesting comments on this Facebook post. A lot of people asking if there was a GoFundMe to support this guy. They're like, can we support this king with a GoFundMe? Some people were saying not all heroes wear capes. He's not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need.
Yes.
My type of resistance. Someone said he was just fixing it. Couldn't be him. He was helping me replace a transmission. He was doing the Lord's work. He's heaven sent. So there was a lot of people commenting like, yeah, good for you, dude.
Yeah. Nobody's going to be mad at that at all. And I mean, people need to realize it's not just like helping for a crime or like they're going to send you a speeding ticket in the mail, or if you run a stop sign, like you're going to get a ticket, or this goes far beyond that. Far. Like they will recognize your patterns. Like, okay, person X drives this route every day to work and then goes here. Are there other cars that drive the same route with this person? Like the level of surveillance is like insane. The amount of information they can get you on when they follow you camera to camera across your entire day. You're literally being surveilled 24/7.
Welcome to Palantir.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we are. All of it's been connected. I think we've always had that. There's
Yeah.
always been some form of surveillance in terms of, but it's often been kind of like kept siloed by the, the company or the organization.
It's been
that uses that.
regulated where it's
Exactly.
like you can only use
Yeah.
it for this, but it's sitting on a drive somewhere. Now it's like sold to whoever the fuck wants
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we all know the Patriot Act after 9/11 came into being, that a lot of these surveillance states type things really ramped up. Now, I do not recommend, again, going and destroying
you.
these cameras.
Yeah,
we do not condone property damage because you're going to get a slap with a potential felony.
it. Dreaming about it, fine.
But you can talk
Donating.
to...
Don't commit crime.
Right. You can talk to your city council, and go on record and talk about how you don't want these in your community.
That's exactly right, Adrienne. The people of Ferndale recently did that. They had flock cameras installed and got them removed. So just, again, guys, quick Google, call your local township, ask if you have this type of thing happening.
Yeah. And people who work in the local city government, they're mostly volunteers. These are not people who are getting paid full-time wages to do this. They're getting paid a couple grand a year stipend to be your city council or township person. They don't want you calling them up constantly or emailing you, or emailing them about what's going on with these sorts of things. And they get scared of that kind of thing. So, exercise your First Amendment rights, talk to your council members about why you don't want these in your communities. There are ways to keep people safe that don't mean surveilling everybody all the time. Even though it feels like that's what's happening because we're all on a list somewhere for doing political podcasts. So, we're wrapping up a little bit here. I know we kind of talked before we got on the pod, like, does anyone have any joy right now other than Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer death match in a cage? That bitch is the best. Like, so great. What's everyone got going on that's keeping you going during wartime?
Other than my Xanax prescription. No, honestly, like I just had a fun little family vacation. We did some whale watching, and that was great. The whales brought me zen that then going to Washington totally destroyed. So I'm just gonna have to go back.
Yeah, the timing was bad.
Yeah.
Gina, the timing was bad. For me, I'm about to head away for a little bit and spend some very much needed family time. So I've got my mum, Pat, who hopefully is watching and listening. I'll be seeing her very soon. So I'm looking forward to spending some family time, quality family time. But I will miss you too. But it is giving me a lot of joy at the moment.
Good. I've been watching Love is Blind. I'm doing the
Yes.
entire season. And I'm simultaneously watching the episodes every Wednesday while also looking at social media. So like I'm watching the memes for like Chris just get fucking raked on Instagram.
Oh my God, he so deserves
He
it.
so deserves it. And it feels so good. And then I follow this other guy who's like a therapist. And he like starts talking
Which
about
one was he?
Oh God, I can't remember his name. I'll plug him another time. But
So
like
wait, I want to tell everybody, like, this season was filmed in Ohio.
in Columbus.
Was it?
Yes,
Really? I
they
didn't know
chose
that.
Columbus,
Yes.
Ohio. So most of these people are from in and around Columbus. And honestly, actually, the good thing about it is this group, they're a little older,
Yeah.
right, Adrienne?
Yeah,
so
they're in
like
their
most of
30s.
them are in like their mid to later 30s. So it's less like bullshit. And let me tell you, these women are standing on their business. I'm loving to see like the women just call out some of these guys for their total bullshit.
It's awesome. And so I have to do the parallel of watching it on TV and following it on social because that's bringing me joy.
So guys, if you like what we're doing and you want more, just another reminder, G&T Time is coming out soon, and this is going to be the place where you get all the behind the scenes gossip, the stuff that we're generally forced to hold back on. Well, Julie and I have kind of had it. Right, Julie?
We're done.
We're done.
It's time. Literally we're taking off the fucking Band-Aid and we're just going for it.
Yeah.
So G&T Time, follow us.
Go on patreon.com/distillsocial and you'll find it. We're starting next week and it'll be bi-weekly, so you'll only be getting the juiciest stuff. No filler at all. All right, guys, we'll see you there.
Well, as usual, it's lovely to wade through this swamp with the both of you.
Always a pleasure, Adrienne and Julie.
Yes, we're glad to see you
maybe
today.
we do something with those J drops. We'll
Oh my
see.
God.
I
The
love it.
J-drops.
The J drops.
Amazing.
That's so perfect. Well, like we said before, if you like us, please share us. Word of mouth is a really great way to let everybody know that we exist. Follow us, leave us a comment, something kind, anywhere you get your podcasts, and follow us on all the socials at The Point of Disorder, at Distill Social, or The Guerrilla Politic. We'll see y'all next Thursday.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Point of Disorder. We'd like to extend a huge thank you to everyone who listened today. And if you like us, give us a like, a subscribe, or a review on any place you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Distill Social and at The Guerrilla Politic. This is the Point of Disorder podcast, signing off. Stay sharp, stay progressive, and above all, stay tuned.